in your box. So in our drill press cabinet right here, we have a couple of shelves. This shelf here is for metalworking only. If you're in a woodworking class, do not use any of these bits or any of these tools on this shelf, okay? The bottom shelf is where you're going to get your twist bits from. Our twist bits come in this metal drill index. When we open this up, we will find the 3 30-seconds bit. That's this little guy right here. And this is what we're going to use for our pilot holes. This is going to be used in a hand drill, okay? Set that to the side for now, and I'm going to put this back in the cabinet. What I've been seeing a lot of is people are taking this out over to wherever they're working. They're getting that one bit out, and then they're leaving this at the table. Everybody else is looking for the bits now. So make sure you put this back. You remove your bit, and then put the box back. Okay? If you're making a counter bore hole or a shank hole, you're going to be using this drill press right here rather than a hand drill. So you're going to get this same drill index out, and we're going to find the 11/64 bit, and this is going to be for your shank hole. Okay? Then, if you are going to make a counter bore hole, you're going to use the only bit that is laying down on this top shelf. Okay? On this top shelf in the back, you see this bit right here. Okay? This bit is a brad point bit. You notice the bit on the, or the point on the center? That makes it a brad point bit. Okay? This is the only one of these we have in the drill press cabinet. Now, when you set your depth stop, you are not using the point to set your depth stop. You're using the sides right here to set the depth too. All right? When you are making your plugs, you're going to use this bit right here. This is a plug cutter. This is going to make your tapered plug to cover your screw so that we cannot tell that there's a screw there. It camouflages that screw. Okay? Another thing, this is a chuck key. Okay? This must be used to tighten the drill bit in the drill press. So once you get your drill bit into the drill press, using your one finger on the bottom of that flat side, tightening it by hand, then you're not done. That bit is not secure. You should not be drilling until you've tightened it with the chuck key. You put the chuck key in here, and you tighten that up real tight. Okay, so this part here is for your thumb. Put that in the chuck, and you turn it this way to tighten. Okay. Now, when you're done, it's just the opposite, but you still hold it the same way. Now you're going to pull back towards yourself to loosen it. And it drops right out, and then you just put it back on the top shelf with the chuck key right in front of it. Okay? All right, now I want to show you the best method to clamp and drill your pilot holes. My counter hole, I have my shank hole and my counter bore hole drilled here. Those are going to be attached to the back of the box. So before I screw this in, I need to drill some pilot holes on the end of my back. So what I'm going to do is first get my drill and my 3 30-second bit. I also want to have one screw, okay? I'm going to take one of these screws, I'm going to push it through my shank hole, and I'm going to see how far it sticks out the back side there. And then I'm going to set that onto my board and make a mark on my board, and that tells me how deep I need to drill that hole. Okay, so now since I have marked the depth of where my screw is going to be, I need to check and make sure that I have my bit set so that it is going to drill the depth that it needs to be. So I'm going to set my drill up here like this, and I can see where that bit stops. And right now, it's too short, so I need to just pull it out of the chuck a little bit. And now I'm going to have it in. So now we're going to clamp this board in the vise. Make sure the outside is labeled and it's facing out towards you. And I just want this to be right even with the top of the table. This is Now I'm going to lay this one down, making sure the outside is up and I should see my counter bore holes. And I'm going to clamp this down to the table. And the easiest way to do this is to make sure that the handle is facing up and it's on top of the table. I'm just going to snug it up so that I can move it around if I need to and adjust it exactly where I want it. Okay, make sure since we are drilling a hole that your settings are correct. We have 2 for the speed and we're on the drill bit setting. And as perfectly straight up and down as you can be. Full speed, halfway, all the way, move on to the next one. Full speed, halfway, all the way, and you're done. So just like a drill press, you turn the switch on and it's full speed and it goes all the way down and all the way back up, spinning the same direction. When we use the drill, we use it exactly the same way. We turn it on, we go all the way down, all the way up, spinning at full speed in the same direction. We'll never reverse and come back out of the hole. Okay? This is meant to spin one direction. And actually, before I take my clamp off of here, I want to switch to my Phillips screwdriver bit. Okay, and now I'm going to go ahead and put my screws in. Since they are already lined up from drilling my holes, this is a perfect time. Go ahead and screw it in. And don't forget to switch your settings back for putting screws in. Speed should be 1. And we're going to put our clutch setting at 9. Now, since it's clamped in this position, it's really easy to push down hard. Take your hand and push it on the back of the drill here, while the other hand is the trigger. Okay, when you hear that clutch activate, that means you're tight. Okay, and we're done. Now I can take both clamps off, and my board is nice and even, exactly how I wanted it. Okay, so that is your pilot holes.